Well, here's another bench. Another hangout.
Okay, I'm in good shape, so why don't you just start out and tell us who you are.
Okay. All right. Well, this is a little project film we're doing. It's about the homeless. My name's Bill Thompson, and I kind of agreed to be the first one to do one of these because I'm really grateful to be sitting here alive right now. We're sitting in for the past 6 years, what was my living room. I would sit here every day from 11 o'clock in the afternoon till before the liquor store would close at night, and drink about a half gallon a day, and try to not drink so much that I couldn't find my way back into the forest here to find my bedroll and stuff, and make sure I didn't freeze to death. And that was my life for a long time, and I wanted to change it. I just couldn't find an avenue or the resources in our small community to get that. And one day I was down drinking here, and a friend of mine, I'll introduce her in a minute, came down here, and she had a thing going, cleaning up the creeks and the trails of all the litter out here. And she asked me if I wanted a job to pick up the cans and the bottles and the trash, and basically was asking all the homeless guys to clean up their own mess, basically. And we started getting paid for that, and in that dialogue, the subject of homelessness, alcoholism, all came into play, and little by little, it got in my mind that I need help. I didn't think I would survive another winter, and as it turned out, I do have cancer. I knew I was sick before I was sick before I knew I was sick, and so it was a lucky break to run into my friend Sara, and she was real interested in helping the homeless here too, and she got the churches involved, town council involved, city council. She got all the churches involved, and she got, the most important thing is she got the homeless involved with their own situation. She put it in our hands, you know, do you want to keep drinking and living down on the creek, or do you want to get sobered up and have a normal life? And I wanted it real bad, but I just didn't know how to get there from where I was. I was married for 16 years, and I had a horrible divorce, and my children had become estranged from me, and my ex-wife, they live in California, and I'd pretty much gotten to the point of just drinking myself to death and knowing it, and every day just making sure I had the next drink, and that night I had the drink for the next day was the whole extent of my life. And what I came to find out through all this is that the town wasn't my own worst enemy. I was. Me and my alcoholism. I was the bad guy, and what I had to do was try to get back to a normal life, and it took a year. Part of it in rehab, and part of it here. It started out that I started living in a 2-bedroom trailer with some friends, and going to church meetings at night. We have a community dinner that Sara put together for all of us out here on the creek. And so little by little I started going there, and I found out they really do care about us and were willing to help in any way they can if there was a way to help. You know, at the time we really had no funding and nothing to go back on, and pretty much Sara was doing it all by herself. And we got involved. My friend Ken and Pat and Carrie and Larry and a few other people started cleaning up the trash out here, and we're going to film some of that in a little bit. But it used to be horrendous out here, and just to show you, can I show this? I could be alcoholic anthropologist as we speak by opening up this recycle bin. Larry's been here today. The Navajos have been here today. Let's see, who else we got? Well, we don't got any vodka today, so the girls haven't been around. But there's still people out here, but the cans and bottles are now safely secure in a recycle bin. And that's what started it off, was the recycling. And then finally I told Sara I'd do it. I want to go to rehab. I want to change. So so Sara found a place for me in Denver, Colorado, the ARC. It's part of the Salvation Army, and I was supposed to be there for 6 months, but unfortunately 3 months into it I got diagnosed with cancer, and it's terminal. It's not curable. I'm too late for radiation and chemotherapy or surgery. So these are sort of my last moves in this world, so I'm trying to make them count. And if this gets to anybody and they're living similar conditions, or if you're married and trying to save your wife and your children and you and have a good life, I hope you hear this, and just know that there are people that want to help you if you can commit to the help. And that's what I did. And I now live in a very nice home, and I have all my needs, and I have doctors around the clock, and I have friends around the clock, and a good support team. What we have here, I backtrack a little. What we have here, we do sort of have a rehab and a detox, but unfortunately that's the county jail, and that's the only thing been afforded to the alcoholics out here. The police and the sheriffs, they don't want to keep doing it either anymore. It's just a vicious cycle. They go to jail, they do their 30 days, have nowhere to go, and they're right back out here on the creek drinking themselves to death. And we're trying to find that gap in the middle of people coming out of jail or things like that, and needing some help, and trying not to have them go back right out on the streets. So we're trying to put things together to better our community, and definitely has bettered my life. Anyone that's going through anything similar as I am, I urge you to go to your community and go to your pastor of your church if you go to church. If not, there's always something in every community that they want to get involved with the homeless, and they will help. But you have to want it, and you have to kind of commit to it. And it's I wish I would have known then that my life was going to be as good as it is today, because I wish for a longer life now. I don't wish for it to end abruptly, which it is. And now when I see Larry up and drinking, it saddens me to see him drinking, but at least he's up in the sun and he's coherent. There's some days he's not. We find him in various precariously perched a lot, and we're not sure where to go there yet. But if anyone in Moab sees this, I'm really grateful to the town of Moab, Utah, and the police department, the churches, to Solutions. They're online. You can find them online. I'll make sure that information's included in here. And I don't have too much else to say. I'd like to ask Sara if she'd like to say anything. She's sitting over here watching me as we speak. I've never been on film before, so if I'm not doing a bang-up job, I'm doing the best I can. Hi, Sara.
Hi, Bill.
This is my very good friend and my earth angel here, Sara. She's the one that got me out of my predicament, only to find me in another one with the cancer, of course. You know, Murphy's Law. Whatever can go wrong will go wrong. But one of the things I had too going bad is in my life was the estrangement from my family. And my sister called me last night, and she had nothing but nice things to say about Sara. They haven't met in person, but she's flying out, and hopefully with my kids too, on the end of the month, around the 28th of February, and it'll be the first time I've seen them all in over 6 years since I became homeless. I didn't want them to see me that way anyway, so it wouldn't have done them no good to come down here and try to find me, because I was such a, I'm not the person sitting here talking to you now, put it that way. I was pretty bad. And she's been a big help in helping me try to pull my family back together. And that was a big part of it for me wanting to get sober, was I do miss my children, and I haven't seen them in a long time. And before this world's over, I want to patch up a lot of wrongs I did. I'll never be able to cover them all, but I'm doing my best to rebuild those bridges that got burnt with the alcoholism. And we're going to take a walk to go look at some of the spots I used to camp. You guys want to do that? Okay. Sarah, you want to add anything? Just maybe solutions number? Or?
Well, no, just that all the guys have been very inspirational to me, and I've just helped them be able to help themselves, because no matter how messed up Bill was over the years, and believe me, he was good at being professionally messed up, he always cycled back to he wanted to get sober, he wanted to see his children, and I just tried to connect to that part of him. And I think for all the guys, the idea of cleaning the Parkway is a subtle way of seeing that they can also clean their lives up and connect to the earth and be beneficial. So that's been really, Bill's been very inspirational.
She has too. There's more than me, put it this way. We could fill the benches for sure right now. A lot of people are camera shy. You got to understand that up until recently, for me, the police and everything were considered the enemy, because they'd come to my living room and stop my drinking. You know, how dare they?
They put handcuffs on him.
Yeah, imagine
But actually,
that.
the chief of police now met Bill, is very inspired by Bill, feels connected to Bill, and considers Bill a friend. So that's pretty full circle.
Yeah, and believe me, that's full circle. Anyway, we're going to go for a walk here and check out some of our haunts, if you guys want to go. Hey, what's going on,
going?
It's Ken.
How's that house?
Yeah, it's doing good.
Good, good. Glad to be off
How
the street.
you doing?
Glad
Yes,
to be off the
I'm
street.
glad to be off the street.
Me too. You want to
But
go?
do you want to go see what the streets were like?
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
Want to go look at the old camps that used to
Yeah,
be
sure.
really messy, and now they're gorgeous?
Yeah.
Well, that's because we cleaned them all up.